Alright, here we have another garbage find. This is a Lasko Purple Cool Colors fan. This one is pretty filthy and it smells funky. I don't know what happened there. 3-speed. Back of it's pretty gross. Motor is clogged full of dust. I don't know if this one will work, but that's an interesting way to stamp it. It's from 2022 or 2023. I want to see if this thing works. It smells like crap, honestly. Plug it in. Turn it around. And I don't think this thing's gonna run, but we'll see if it does anything. Is there a miracle? Is there any power at all? No power. I'm gonna guess this has a blown thermal fuse in it. However, I do have an extra motor from another Lasko that would fit right into this. I think I have an idea. So maybe there'll be a part 2 to this. We'll see. I guess we'll go ahead and record all this because why not? I don't know how much of it will record because there ain't much time left on the camera. Trying to find somewhere where I can set this. Oh, that might work. Where did I put this? But yeah, this thing is pretty freaking filthy. And I do have plans for this. For some reason, I've been trying to gather all the Lasko Cool Colors variants. And I believe this is the last one I need to get. I think they made a pink one too, but I have not seen one of those in a very long time. So, yummy. We can go down there. Blade's intact. Seems to be pretty decent. I do not want to know what that is. Yummy. But yeah, we're going to pull this blade off. We're going to tear this all down. And we're going to swap in this other spare Lasko motor I got. I know this one works because the fan I pulled it out of, it worked. I just parted it out because it was covered in cigarette tar. And if you ever want to know how to pull a freaking Lasko blade off, or any box fan in general, you put one hand here, and you pull up. I don't know if this will show it on video or not. Maybe we can. Like that. You just pop off like that. And this one is pretty filthy. I want to guess the motor burned up in this one because it's pretty disgusting. But for science, we are going to put another motor in. And we got more scrap for the scrap pile. And I might see eventually about fixing this thermal fuse in this one. Because, I mean, it was a free junk fan. It's worth trying to fix the motor for the hell of it, really. I need to learn on my soldering skills anyway. Did I really need another cheap freaking Lasko? No. But now I have all the variants of the cool colors. Yeah, that thing is, it's pretty bad. Got a whole layer of carpet on this motor. Look at that. Yummy. No wonder it don't work. It is pretty nasty. Yummy. Cord came loose from the glue because originally it would have been there, but it fell off, I guess. But yeah, we're gonna clean this up, pull this motor out. Yeah, the switch knob just kind of pulls off. Sometimes it's easier than others, like that. Then you untwist this. This kind of requires two hands, and I can't really do it on camera. Maybe it don't require two hands. Let's see. No. Well, I'm not reusing that switch anyway. I might reuse the cord. But as for this motor and this switch, it's pretty much... it's being canceled out, as Jordan Nutter would say. But we'll be back in a few. Alright, here it is with its new motor. Or new to it motor, anyway. This is actually out of a different Lasko fan. I wired in the cord and everything. Use a switch from an Aerospeed because those are pretty easy to work with. And you got the wires all wired in the right holes, hopefully. This is a, what is this? Pro motor. And all I gotta do now is get all the plastic pieces, put them back on. But this motor does work. So we're off to a good start. And this actually cleaned up pretty decent so far. So we'll pick up after I put all the pieces back on it. Just before we put the blade on, put a little bit of a zoom spout on the front here. Hold that out. This bottle's kind of finicky. Like I said, it's finicky. And you gotta kind of... There it goes. I know I serviced this motor not that long ago because of the fan I got it out of. It came from a friend of mine that actually let me service the fan quite a while back. But now we can plop this blade back on. And there's a flat spot on the shaft, or the flat spot on the blade matches up with the flat spot on the shaft. And what I like to typically do is put the flat spot up, move all my crap out of the way, and then you line it up with this right here. Usually you don't need two hands for this. And there you go. And then we can put the blade, or the grills back on. But and then to find out you wired it all messed up, I gotta go in and switch the wires. Yay! Okay, this is kind of an important thing to note on these fans, the way these switches are wired. Now they use stock Lasko switches, which are completely different than this. This is what the stock ones look like. It's pretty typical switch they use on their fans. This is the one out of an Aerospeed, which is similar to what like Lakewood used to use. So you gotta kind of know what wires go where to make sure you get the speeds correct. That's high, medium, low. And how these are wired is power goes in there, line in, and it goes, one would be medium, I guess. Two is, I believe, actually no, it goes backwards. It goes line in, high, medium, low, and then the black wire is your common lead or your neutral. And you can either hook it in with the switch up here, which, I mean, most people would probably do, but it works the same if you just wire them together. But yeah, that's just something to note about these box fan motors like this. Anyway, we're going to throw this thing back together and continue from there. And here's the finished product. All cleaned up for the most part. Lasko purple fan with a new motor from another fan. Cleaned up pretty good. It's not perfect, but I didn't expect it to be. I will say the top cleaned up really nice though. A lot better than I thought it would. But anyway, started up on high. Seems to be out of balance. Well, drawing 0.60 amps, 68.8 watts. It was a pretty decent breeze for what it is. We'll go to medium. Drawing 55.5 watts and 0.50 amps. We'll go to low. Now, did I really need to fix a Lasko Cool Colors fan? No, not really. But for some reason I kind of like these Cool Colors fans. And this was the only one I didn't have in the collection. So I figured I had an extra motor that worked. Why not fix this one up? Because it wasn't in bad shape, it was just really nasty. Spin down's pretty good on it. So there you have it, another trash picked Cool Colors. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching.